Hello everyone, welcome back. My samurai is back in again for another pruning. You can see how the tree is starting to get a bit out of hand now again. So I'm going to give it a bit of a pruning back, clean off the root weeds and stuff. Might take this moss, all this old moss off, and just put a layer of bonsai soil just to help it drain through better. Another tree I should have repotted this year. It's still okay in this pot, but I just wanted to lift him up a bit and maybe get a better pot for it. But next year. You can see how thick now the roots are getting. They're well and truly gripped onto them. This one that's going through the back there. You can see it's going through the back of his thing there. It's filled the gap completely now. That was only kind of that thin when I put it in there, so it's got quite thick. It's one of the main roots. And this one that is kind of holding, looping around, sticking up. Yeah, so again, I bought this samurai at a car boot sale a few years back. There was a piece of it broken off on the side, that's why I put the tree there. So this guy's in under there's a piece that chipped off him. Okay, so we'll get started on the pruning. See how long these are getting now. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I like to keep my Chinese elms tightly pruned. Keeps them branches thin and also keeps the leaves tight and small. Doesn't seem to do any harm health-wise to the tree, if anything. Seems good and healthy. So I'm starting to get a few leaves yellowing off where the sun is not getting in. All the leaves are dying off. So again, we're just kind of prune it into the profile and then maybe look at making more separate pads. Let's see. Taking off everything that's growing up. All these long shoots. So just taking all the energy. Bring the tree and come a bit closer. Raise it up a bit. I'm always keep my eye open car boot sales and things. I like to go to car boot sales at the weekend for things like this, statues, and I've got quite a few statues and things that I've collected over the years. I planted a larch on a dragon statue in one of my videos, made out of the same kind of resin. The larch is not doing too good, to be honest. It seems to be just sulking the whole time, it's not growing. I had it in water for a while, see would that help. Didn't seem to do anything. Then I took it out of the water, that didn't seem to help. So now it's back in a tray of water again to see, because it's quite hot now at the moment, the weather, and dry. Surprisingly, we haven't had rain for a few days now. So hopefully the larch will take. If not, it was only one I collected. We'll just find something else to put on top of it. So you can see now it's starting to take shape again. Just get rid of all these dead leaves out of it. Pads are starting to get nice and tight again. This is another tree that's come quite a long way since I got it. This was a birthday present from my son, the tree, and it's definitely it was very thin, quite a thin tall tree. It's thickened up a little bit, not massively, but I don't mind that because being on the statue I don't want it huge, so it kind of looks too big and thick for the statue. I just want it kind of like an umbrella over him. It's getting quite dense now on the top here. So when we get this done, we'll have a look and see can we create a few gaps in it, thinning out a bit. Once the summer months come, these trees, you gotta keep on top of them because they grow crazy fast. Trying and pruning them every few weeks just to stop them going completely out of hand. Because if you leave them grow like this, you'll just end up with big long shoots and they'll just get thicker and thicker, and then when you chop it back you end up with a big thick branch chopped back. So you end up having to go right in and take it off from the source. So to me that's just a waste of time. I know it probably helps the energy in the tree, but I think if you keep them trimmed like this, you keep the foliage tight, the branches thin, you get more and more branching. That to me surely creates a lot of energy for the tree as well. That's my theory anyway. Other people might have different theories, but each to their own. That's the way I do it with these. We're getting there now. So my recommendation, if you have a Chinese elm or any other tree really that you find they've got a kind of a real artificial twist in them, which doesn't look very realistic, if you plant them either on a rock, by or beside a rock, you know, make it look like the twist is there for a reason. It just gives it more of a natural look. Then, because I find the twisty ones just look so, you know, the tree doesn't grow like that in the wild. And now, even like this, it's a bit of a twist in it, but because it's on top of the statue, it just kind of takes it away from that twist. If it was planted in the ground, it would kind of be a bit funny looking. This one isn't too bad, but some of them you get like an S, and them ones I definitely try and do something with just to get rid of that S look about them. Okay, what I'm going to do now, put the glass on for a start, is I'm just going to try and create gaps between, instead of having like one big pad. You can see there, I have to come up there, you can see it there, it's just like one big pad across. What I'm going to do is try and create gaps like that in the pads, so it just gives it a bit more detail rather than just one big pad. I just think it gives it more of a miniature look, and kind of round each of the pads a bit more, so they're not all and just creating a little gaps like that between them. Take that branch out altogether, just create a bit more air in there. Again, just trying to break up the pad a bit into individual branches rather than just one. Like that, so there's gaps. You can see there now. Again, you can see the kind of gaps in it. And same with the one in front there now, instead of having one big pad, just gaps in it. So I'll just go over the whole tree now doing that. And don't worry about the back gap. If you think, oh, that's too much of a gap now I've left there, because in a couple of weeks time you'll be back doing the same thing again, because it'll have just filled in. Up here now it's getting very thick because of the trimming all the time, so like that, I just go in, chop it back a bit, make some gaps again between the branches, so each branch is its own little pad instead of one big pad between all 4 or 5 branches. Okay, so I'll just keep going around doing that with the tree, and then when it's done I'll come back and have a look and see if we can see any difference in it. Probably not a lot, but we'll have a look. Okay, we're getting kind of close now to finishing the pruning anyway. So as you can see now, hopefully you can see, there's a lot of gaps now, a lot more individual pads rather than one big pad. It's starting to get lots of gaps in it. You can see the branch structure a bit more. Just this last bit here now to do. So you got to kind of be a little bit ruthless because together. Getting right in and just picking out branches to take out and which ones to leave, and cleaning off the branches of any short stubs that are growing and stuff. And it just gives it a far more miniature look than just having like big clouds of foliage. So just don't be afraid, especially with these Chinese elms, to really trim them tight, because they will come back. Okay, I think we are more or less done with the pruning. Just trying to make each branch individual so they're not interfering with each other. I do have a root branch in there, we take that one out. Okay. So right now you can see how much open that is, and more realistic, more miniature looking, and having big fat clouds at night looks nice with the clouds too, but I just prefer to see a lot more of the branch structure and opening it up, letting the light through. Just helps the miniaturizing of it. We got a lot of foliage we took off, but I'll do an update on this in a few weeks and you'll see that it'll be all filled in again in no time. Now just want to do a little bit of work on the bottom here. You can see the moss is not great. So I'm just gonna rake it back. We'll get some more moss for it at some stage, but at the moment all my places where I get my moss, all the moss is dried right out. So I'm just waiting for a bit of rain and then we'll go moss hunting again. All these little roots, you don't really want them in your finished product. You probably just want a couple of your bigger roots. Don't want all these small little ones. But until I repot it, I'll just leave them for now. Just gonna pick out all this old moss. Just create a lip so when I water the tree, the water can sit and fill the pot rather than running off the dry moss all the time. There's definitely one tree I was sorry I didn't repot this year. I was kind of waiting to get a nicer pot for it, but I not getting one. We've got forgotten about, because it wasn't really growing in the spring. It's just these kind of wait till a little bit later and then they start going crazy. So I was looking at other trees and working on them and kind of forgot about this guy, but anyway, next year. Let's break all this off. Just creates a nice lip now for the water to sit in instead of running off. Get rid of these few weeds. You see you can see his foot there. So I did want to get down and just lift him out of the pot another maybe inch so that his feet were up out of the soil. Just see the top of his foot there where the wire's holding him in, and he's on a stand, so we definitely could have went down another inch there, lifted him up, but not to worry, we'll just have to wait till next year. Okay, so that'll do for that one. We'll call that done. Turn it round now so you can see the whole tree. So you can see now it's a lot lighter, a lot airier. And like I said, I'll give you an update in a few weeks and you'll see how much it's grown in. And yeah, like that, we'll try and get a pot for him for next year. Okay, so as always guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we will see you on the next one.